Hi guys, Stephen from James Glenn Car Sales, and today I have the car equivalent of a bomb with 2 seats on it. The Mercedes SLK55. I don't think we've ever had such a small car with such an enormous engine. 5.5 litres, V8 configuration, squeezed into an SLK. It's quite a recipe, it certainly is. I'm delighted to report we actually had the previous generation, and whilst it was a fantastic little car, the drivetrain really did let it down. Not so much the engine, more to do with the gearbox. Now this is not as sharp as what you would expect from something like a DCT or a PDK, but it is infinitely better than the previous generation car. Lovely car, 2 owners from new, just turned 41,500 miles, full and complete Mercedes service history all the way through every single year. And yeah, very rare to have on such low owners, just two owners. So that's a wee intro. Now let's get a look around, take in the car's general condition, and we'll have a look at some of those spec highlights while we're on the way round. It is obsidian black with black leather interior, all perfectly detailed by Kirsten, who's just up there putting the lunch on. Say hi, Kirsten. Just under 2 days on the detailing process. It takes some time, but I think, as you can probably see from the results, they do really speak for themselves. Now you can't see it, but this actually has a panoramic roof. This is the reason why I've left the roof up, so that you can see, because these can actually come body coloured, and I have been reliably informed that when they're body coloured, the laminate for the colour can start to lift, and it's a rather expensive replacement. So we've just got a tinted screen on the roof of the folding metal roof there, which gives it a nice stealth look, but also won't give you any issues when it comes to things like solar damage. I would have to say, I think this is my favourite angle. Looks like a mini SLR with that big diffuser along the bottom, the 4 pipes that are just the right size. We've got the little boot spoiler along there, and then obviously the SLK55 badging on one side and the AMG on the other. To the untrained eye, it could just look like a rather sporty SLK and not a fire-breathing AMG model. It's only when you start getting closer you start to realise that it's got enormous brakes all round, not just the front, and as I mentioned, those 4 pipes out the back give it some sort of indication as to the potency. So taking a closer look now as we take our second walk round, we'll have a good look at the paint condition. As I mentioned earlier, everything here is all fully machine polished, and in this case, because it's black, it did require all 3 stages. Stone chipping is minimal. In fact, I'm really struggling to pull any up on the camera. We're about 2 feet away, 3 feet away. It's only when we go really close we can just start to pick up very light peppering just on the bonnet. That is something that is completely unavoidable. But yeah, as far as wear and tear and road rash goes, I would say it's way below average, especially on a car that's now knocking on for 12 years old. Looking down the passenger side of the car from the front to the back, taking in that rare Scottish sunlight, just bouncing off the paintwork there, we can see that it is completely free from any parking dents whatsoever. The front passenger wheel is in A1 condition and is wearing a Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyre. Have a close look in at the brake discs. We can see that they are all very clean, and the calipers are wearing well as well. Sometimes what you can find is the lacquer can start to lift, and the AMG signage on the caliper can start to tarnish. This can either be caused with either excessive heat or aggressive alloy wheel cleaner. Moving on to the back, we've got a Michelin Pilot Super Sport on the back. And looking in the back, the hubs have all been freshened up nice, and the face of the discs are all in good shape. Yeah, just a single piston sliding caliper on the back, but at least it's got a wee cover on there so that it matches in with the front caliper. That's always been a bit of a bugbear of mine when you've got a nice powder coated caliper on the front and then the manufacturer sticks an old grotty standard caliper on the back and just powder coats it. It looks really cheap. Now, looking down from the back to the front, again you can see just how clean, straight and true the body panels are. Just taking in the bottom of the bumper, sometimes pick up a wee bit of road rash. That's just a wee bit of top down there. It's not past QC. So this here, if you want extra loading area, moves back, allows you to use the full boot capacity. When this is in this position, the roof will not go down. I remember being in one of these years ago and thinking the roof was broken, but it was just the fact that when you pull this down, it secures in here and clicks a wee micro switch, and then the system knows that it can put the roof away without the worry of squashing your luggage. But yeah, even when the roof is down, you can still access in through here, which is quite handy. Just looking a wee bit closer here, guys, there is a wee corner of the light lens has broken off, so we're happy to get that replaced. It's not letting in any water, there's no moisture in the light. I can only assume it's maybe been caught on the end of a cloth or something like that, and it's just broken off. And looking down the driver's side, same story again on this side, guys, it really is. Feel all nice and clean and tidy. Look on this side, this is a Michelin Pilot Super Sport as well. Again, same story with the discs and the calipers. And the final wheel, Michelin Pilot Sport 4 again. Yeah, so it's got Pilot Sport 4's on the front and Super Sport's on the rear. Due to being replaced at different times, I can only imagine. But yeah, as I said earlier on the other side, all the braking system is all, I mean, it really is spotless. It's certainly been a very cherished car, that's for sure. Well, this one has the carbon interior trim. It's got the Hammond cabin audio system, which is really good. Power folding mirrors there. Brushed aluminium entry plates. Black leather with the silver stitching. And as you can see there, just lighting up, it's also got the interior ambient lighting, which is running down the length of the armrest on the door and either side of the centre console. Flat bottom steering wheel, Alcantara, which can be terrible for wearing really badly. It's all nice, clean, fresh, not all sticky, gooey, or covered in baubles with multiple attempts to try and clean it with the wrong stuff. You'll be able to see the panoramic roof now, a bit clearer from the inside. These are really heavily bolstered seats, as you'd expect given the style of car, but the bolster is in really good shape on the base, and the base of the actual seat is very little stretch in the leather. I've always liked how they hide the operational controls for the roof, a bit James Bond-esque. So all your cubby holes in there. So let's get it started. Guys, you probably picked up just down here, we find that Merck's a murder for this. The bonnet catch has come off from under here, but that'll be replaced as well. It literally just happened as we were getting the car cleaned. Quite annoying. So 41,566 miles. On first impressions, I mean, the old shape car, I have to admit, it was a lot louder than this. These cars also do cylinder deactivation, which makes them much more fuel efficient on a longer run, and it also brings down the tax. So this is not the monster tax, it's not the 700 odd pounds that we find ourselves paying at the minute for large displacement cars. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I can tell you just now, guys, that it's more along the lines of under 400 and not north of the 700, which we were all very surprised to hear. But just taking in the cabin, having a look around. It's a very special place to sit. It feels extremely expensive and high end. We've got downlighters here, and here as well. I've never actually seen downlighters on a pillar before. This must all light up really nice when it's properly dark. Tend to find the navigation systems on these cars, it's alright, but it is beginning to show its age a little bit. But the sound system itself, it's got all you can pair it in through Bluetooth, and the sound quality itself is excellent. You've also got DAB digital radio, so we shall switch that off for the moment, and I'll put you guys outside, and we'll give the car a little rev. So the car is cold at the moment, so don't want to rev it too hard. That's about 3,000 RPM. It's got quite a bark. So let's pop the bonnet and have a look to see what's making all that noise. Which is sometimes a bit tricky to do with one hand. Oh, managed this time. Mercedes, what a logical way to have your bonnet open. I salute you for that. So anyway, I'll move out of the way and let you guys get a closer look at this behemoth of a V8, 5.4 litres. I'm pretty sure this is the engine out of the W212 E63, which we also have. I'll put a link to that in the description. But minus 2 turbos, we have full, what the Yanks call all motor, so it's completely naturally aspirated. Beautiful throttle response, you don't need to wait on anything, you just need to put the foot down and experience 420 brake horsepower that's delivered instantaneously. It's a very responsive unit, as you can probably imagine, being fitted in such a tiny car. But it also likes the rev as well, so it revs to about 7, and what I found on the test drive is when you're out driving the car and you change further up the revs, the changes are even sharper than when you're just kind of pootling about, which is what you want. You know, if you're just potting about the town, you want a nice smooth gear changing in when you're out on it and you're using the car for what it's built for. It's nicer to have those crisper gear changes when you're in the mood. So guys, thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. Just to recap, it's an SLK 55 5.5 V8, 2 owners, 41,500 miles, full and complete Mercedes service history. The last service was done within the last 1,000 miles. Full specification will be available on the website if you'd like to head over. I'll put a link to the car just down below. Equally, we won't buy any car.com, but we might just buy your car, and for a great price too. That's exactly where this car came from. We buy all the stock via our own in-house car buying service directly from the owner. We don't go to auction, we don't use any trade-to-trade websites. We basically buy them, as far as we're concerned, in the best way possible, and that's directly from the owners. That gives us a chance to make sure we do all our due diligence, make sure the history is all there. We get the chance to drive them before we buy them, and for that reason we have got a lovely selection of cars. Anyway, if you're selling a car, get in touch. I'll put the link below. If you'd like to get in touch with an interest in this SLK55, please feel free to give us a call. It's 01236 77 9000. There'll also be, as I said, the link below to the website if you'd like to email an inquiry, whether that's for finance, a part exchange inquiry, or just something in general about the car. As you are watching a video about an SLK55, I will also put another link up here to a video that I think you might find interesting. Also, if you'd like to consider subscribing to the channel, that way you'll not miss any more stock updates, you can do that by clicking this wee button here. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.